Mastercast Radio.
Welcome to Mastercast Radio. I am your host, Andrew Rosa, and today I am joined by Lawrence Staveley of Reboot. Now, that name may not be too familiar with folks in the casual gaming scene, but in the Jaguar community, this guy is responsible for not only numerous Atari ST ports to the Atari Jaguar, but he is also responsible for some original works as well, a collection of which of smaller games that are going to be appearing on a compilation called Rebooted, which looks awesome, by the way. And he may be even better known for the Asteroids 2000 we fucking deserved and never got, otherwise known as Rebooteroids. And as at the time of this recording, it was not available for purchase because stock needs to come back in. But folks, please understand, it's coming. It's coming. It will be available again. And it will be so fucking worth it. If you've seen my review, you know that already. But without further ado, here is Lawrence. Say hello.
Hello.
Yay! And we were talking a bit before this, and I was just saying how great it is to finally hear his voice.
yeah, it's been pretty good. Yeah, well, I knew what you sounded like because I've been watching the videos, so yeah, it's a bit of a one-way thing there, I guess.
Yeah, you poor bastard watching my watching my videos. No, I know. Every now and then, I'll pop in my videos late at night. Like, does that hold up? And my girlfriend will just be like, "Oh my God, please no! Can we watch Good Mythical Morning or something?"
Yeah, it's really hard to tell if your own voice is good.
Yeah, it is, because I always think I sound so much more masculine in my mind, and then I hear the recording, and I'm like, nope, that's not how it is at all. So, but all right, so. I actually came to know you because I had done a video about another game, and I had mentioned how I wish I had spent the money on Rebooteroids instead, and you were actually very kind to reach out, as well as Albert Yaruso from AtariAge, and you hooked me up.
Albert's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Albert's awesome. I've talked to him as well, for those of you listening. And you were very cool, and you sent me a free copy of Rebooteroids, which I still feel kind of bad about, because I actually feel I should have paid for it. It was good. It's a damn good game. I still play it, and I keep trying to... Oh, no, my pleasure. Seriously, my pleasure. I'm still trying to beat my highest score. Like, for those of you listening, I've actually been helping out and testing some of his new games coming out, namely Last Strike, which is coming, and it looks fantastic. We'll be reviewing that as well. And Rebooted, testing that too, and it was kind of difficult because at that time I was still playing the hell out of Rebooteroids, so I'm like, I kind of want to work on my score right now, just like I've got like 2 hours, I'll devote an hour to Rebooted, sure, and then I'll go, but I'll do Rebooteroids for now just to get me in the pace.
Yeah.
3 hours later.
Yeah, Downfall does that to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But
I know, people just say, "Oh, I'll just have a quick game of Downfall," and then like 2 hours later, or you get people saying, "This looks like really simple and not that great," and just getting stuck there.
oh yeah. Like I remember somebody had actually, when I got Halloween for the 2600. I said I wanted to talk about more 2600 games, and this guy actually got really angry with me, so much so he unsubscribed to my channel after berating me and saying, "Why do you want to talk about boring ass games nobody gives a shit about?" And I'm like, ow. Like, one, fuck you.
Yeah.
and two, clearly people still give a shit about it because they're still making games for it. And I'm like, and I'm sorry, like, Asteroids, even as basic as it is, and it's not the arcade game, it's still fun, and it will still have me glued to the damn TV. And just recently I picked up Spies in the Night, which is a homebrew sold by AtariAge, and that game is really fucking good. I enjoy it, at least. And Draconian, that was another one. I I was only going to capture, I think I only need about an hour's worth of footage. 2 hours later, I've gone through all the maps, tried all the different modes, but I'm still playing the shit out of it. So,
I think, yeah, I think it's just refreshing to like be able to pick up games, play it, without having to read the manual or go, what key is this? Or, oh no, I've got to do this 20-button combo. Go left, right, up, down, fire. Off you go.
yeah, and not having to sit through a tutorial that kind of holds your hand for 45 minutes until you've gotten everything that you need, and then you move on, and then you can really start the game, and then you sit through like a 15-minute cinema, and you're like, am I gonna play? Don't get me wrong, I love story-driven games, but it is kind of, as you said, it's refreshing to just pick up a game and start playing instantly.
Well, that's it. If you've got like half an hour or an hour, yeah, you can dive in and just pick these up. But the story-driven ones, you've got to basically go, I'm not doing anything for the next 8 hours.
Yeah, it's like having to make time for a movie. You're like, well, do I want to go and see Halloween right now? Yeah, we can do it. So, but all right, I've gone off on a tangent here, and I apologize. But go ahead and tell us how you got like started in this industry in particular. Like, what brought you in?
Well, pretty much straight out of university. I started working for Sinister Developments, who were writing Slam Racer on the Jaguar. And that got quite a long way into production and then went nowhere when Atari decided that they weren't going to be around anymore. And yeah, that was a pretty bitter experience for everyone involved, and it just went in the attic for a couple of decades. And then I thought, I still want to make games for this thing, and dug it back out and started writing like a Tapper type game using the emulator. And I sent it to Remo Williams, who's an AtariAge member, to test, and it didn't work. But it worked fine in the emulator. So, yeah, he kindly donated me a skunk board, and that's where it all started, really.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It just brought me back in.
Yeah. Nice. Did Rebooteroids start after that, or did you just dabble with other projects as well before going into Rebooteroids?
Rebooteroids. Okay, so we started working as a group on Project 1, which I don't know if you've seen or not, but yeah, that didn't turn out too great. We spent about 3 months doing that, and it taught us how not to make a game. I think it's probably the best thing that came out of that. And after that came out, we took a bit of a break when I ported an old ST game that I'd written called Beebris over to the Jag. And during that time, I started playing with like an Asteroids engine, which became Rebooteroids roughly 7 or 8 years later.
Wow.
So yeah, Rebooteroids sort of happened during all the other games as a sort of ongoing thing that was never quite sure where it was going.
Okay, I see. So, throughout that time, you're like doing all these other projects. It's like, well, I need a break from this for a while. I need to kind of work over here for a little bit, kind of deal.
Yeah, it was a nice sideline. I mean, obviously, I wanted it finished, but yeah, it did drag on more than I would have liked, but it got there in the end, and it was worth it.
Oh, I will say it's worth it. As a player, I would say it's worth it. So,
yeah, it feels like a much larger, fleshed out game than the other games that we did at that time. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, I can see the other games that though now Beebris. That's also on Rebooted, right? That's coming out on Rebooted.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I knew I recognized that title. But yeah, those are very easy pick up and play games.
Yeah, that's pretty much the trademark that we kind of went for with the reboot games. It was, never wanted to sit down and write huge masterpieces. I just wanted to quickly focus on a game and get it done, and give yourself an achievable goal. Because there's a lot of devs that have come along that have gone, I'm going to write the best thing ever, and then they start writing the engine and it's all looking good, and then lose interest or hit a technical brick wall because they decided they wanted to do something that wasn't possible, and that's the end of that. So yeah, we wanted to just pick achievable goals and hit them.
Well, that makes sense. It's kind of like how folks come out of film school. You don't immediately jump into Star Wars. You kind of have to do some short films, really start to hone your craft, and then maybe you can do something smaller but bigger. Like a good drama or something serious. It's like George Lucas didn't do Star Wars right out of the gate, So
yeah, Project One was like, let's write a really big game, and that was a stupid idea for a group of people who've never worked together before. and frankly, if we'd finished Rebooteroids a lot sooner, it would have been a lot worse.
No, you think so?
Yeah. There was a lot of things learned during the 7 years that went back into it at the end. Yeah, that was definitely worth it.
No, so that's how you kind of, while working on Rebooteroids and, as you mentioned, doing the Atari ST port, is that how you kind of went into doing more ports for the Jag?
Not really, no. I'm not sure how that came about. That was just like, wouldn't it be good if we could play Bubble Bobble? And then I took a look at the code, and yeah, it looked like it could run, but there was no real way to screen converted over from the ST, and then Orion, another dev, had written this screen conversion routine to take an ST screen and turn it into the Jaguar format. So we plugged that in and got it working. And then another dev came along, SCP CD from the Jaguar group, and he optimized that, and that got it up to speed, and then get the sounds working, and before you know it, we had a game. But that was the first one, and that just showed me it was possible, and I just did a couple more after that, but they've been getting progressively tighter and better as we go along. Like the latest ones got much faster frame rates. Some of the routines are replaced with GPU code. You've got arcade music or multiple music choices, and you've got the mouse working now. So yeah, these, I don't consider them, at their heart, they are ports from the ST, but some of them are so different from the ST version. Yeah, they more like enhanced versions now, I think.
Any ones that stand out for you?
Well, the Treasure Island Dizzy one, where the original version had one life. And the reason they did that was because there's a section underwater where you have to get a snorkel to go and get it, but you have to carry something else, and they were finding that if you died underwater, you couldn't get back out because the snorkel was dropped in the water.
Oh.
So the Oliver Twins solution to that was to give you one life, and if you die, well, tap, you can start again. So yeah, I added a save state to that, so you can save your game at any point and then jump back to it. So if you die, you just go back to your last restore point. That really makes that game so much more playable and less frustrating.
Nice. Yeah, and that's also available from AtariAge, just so you know, folks.
Yep.
I'm sorry, it just sounds like I'm shilling.
Yeah. But, I'm sure Albert will.
Well, I think it's deserved. I mean, I know before I got the Jaguar, I didn't really I didn't go to AtariAge. I was more of the Sega guy. I was really steeped in Sega, but then once I got that, it made me look back at the 2600, and then I found the Atari Jaguar fans group, and later that led to AtariAge, and then I was like, holy shit, you guys sell games? And new ones? So, it's nice to see.
There aren't many Jaguar fans out there compared to the other consoles, but they are very fanatical, and I do thank them for that. They will support pretty much anything that gets put out.
Yes, I have seen.
And yeah, and without those guys, it wouldn't be worth doing any of this. So thank you to everybody who bought or downloaded and played anything that I've ever written. It makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, because this is a side project for you. I mean, this isn't how you pay the
Oh,
bills.
there's absolutely no way you can pay the bills doing this.
Well, what are you talking about? That you're not seeing the lion's share of that $70? You're telling me you need to pay for products and materials to build it? Pish posh, you lying sack.
Oh yeah, that is a regular thing that crops up, and while Atari used to put these out for cheaper, why can't you do them for cheaper? It's like, yeah, but Atari made like 50,000 of these things. We're making maybe a couple of hundred. There's economies of scale involved, and yeah, it's a whole different ballgame when you go in for these homebrew runs. It works out far more expensive than people think.
Yeah, and that extends to everything. I mean, especially if you're making a cartridge, because it's not like stamping a CD. You're needing the chips, you're needing the board, you're needing the shell. You want to put out a halfway decent label. You don't want it to be basically like, I don't know, Halloween on 2600 where you just put a piece of tape over it and write with Sharpie. I mean, if that's an option.
It all adds up. I mean, the screws that hold the case together, everything is a cost.
Yeah. But that is, I have seen that crop up from time to time, but I did my own run of video CDs for my old channel, My Life with Sega, and I only did about 30, but I wanted to have some decent looking labels, so I went and had them printed, and it kind of gets expensive, and I was handing them out for free, basically. You didn't even have to pay for shipping. I just sent them to you. And
yeah, like I said, and when we get to things like, well, I'll buy it for like half the price if I don't want the box, but it's the box and the manual and the cost that you can tag to that makes it worth doing the run.
right.
Otherwise, it's just peanuts, and you end up running it for a loss. So yeah, I mean, I know some people do the cart-only options, and yeah, more power to them if they can get them done. But the economies of scale just don't add up. And as you start making things cheaper and cheaper, which we are trying to do, but it's just not easy. But the more you leave out, the less sort of you get back, if you see what I mean. I know it's weird. It's just the economies just aren't there.
Well, yeah, it's like you said, smaller production runs. And really, isn't this basically just Albert AtariAge for the most part? Because
Yeah, I try and get everything done through Albert. He's been fantastically supportive, not just for the Jaguar, but he keeps like the 2600, the 5200, the 7800, the 8 bits, even non-Atari tools like in television and all. Albert does fantastic work for the entire retro scene, and I don't think he gets enough credit. I mean, he gets plenty of credit, but I don't think it's enough.
I would say it's not really enough, because it's like, unless you're really kind of steeped in the Atari scene, because I've only really been a part of it for like a year, and it took like it really wasn't up until you sent me Rebooteroids I was even aware of him and what he had done through AtariAge. So it's I think he deserves a little more credit, especially in providing, helping Homebrew, folks put out their game.
AtariAge is a great resource. Like lots of programmers there, they'll help each other out on pretty much any format console. Yeah, it's just fantastic. And that thing's been running like 20 years now, so
Wow.
He's hung in there.
That's definitely a labor of love.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, it's like running Mastercast TV. It's a one-man show, but even that can be kind of taxing. Oh, but
and it's as a developer, it's good to hand the game over and know that what people are going to get is going to be quality.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
just from the game, but from the box and the manual. And you've seen the way things up the sense about it's all like bubble wrapped in boxes. Nothing's going to happen to that. You get hit by a truck, and it can still come out good at the other end.
I have noticed that it's great. It's welcome, for somebody who would buy American Saturn games, which come in rather fragile, long box jewel cases. and those things get cracked regularly whenever they go through the mail. And it's
Yeah.
yeah, half the time you feel like if you just look at it funny, it's gonna crack. So, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this form. Probably picked that up from things I've said. So.
I know it's not for everybody. I understand. It's kind of like when I have to defend the Jaguar to people. It's like, damn, what was it? We went on Erica and I went on our anniversary, and I was talking about the Jaguar, and this a friend of a friend just was like, who the hell cares about that thing? And I'm like, I do, it's awesome. And Erica actually jumped right in there, and she's like, no, I played Rebooteroids and it's awesome. I'm like, see, it's worthwhile. And
Yeah.
And another one was
hate on the
Flip Out.
bad games. Don't hate on the console.
Yeah, and every console has shit games. Every great console has shit games.
Oh yeah, I would argue PlayStation, the legendary PlayStation that everybody loves, I would say 90% of the stuff on that is crap. You just remember the 10% as being awesome.
Right. There's a lot of, I guess what they would call like shovelware. There's a lot of titles on there that just either haven't aged well, or they were kind of like budget games and they didn't really stick. That, or you'd get one atrocious.
The reason the Jag gets the rough deal, I reckon, is because there were only like 54 titles or something. So if you take your 90% shovelware out of that, you're not left with many good games.
No, it's true. I mean, admittedly, I like some of the what people would call crap. So,
there's something there for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I still enjoy Kasumi Ninja. I mean, I think Ultra Vortek is way better, but I still enjoy Kasumi Ninja, as kind of broken it can be. There's still something fun to be had with that experience.
Yeah, it's not that bad a game. The problem it's got now is people look back and compare it to things that came out 2 or 3 years later, which isn't really a fair comparison for how the system was at the time.
Yeah, it's, well, like, I still know some folks that say, like, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, like, definitive home port 3DO, and I'm like, the Japanese Saturn got a way better port. That loads a lot better. The stock controller that comes with the console is better made for Capcom fighting games. So it's...
Yeah, but like, you say that, but I remember Street Fighter as being the SNES version, which was like years before that. So, and you can't really compare the two versions.
No.
They're from different generations.
Yes, yeah. Even the 3DO is a different gen. But I mean,
it's like saying, Grand Theft Auto is rubbish because Grand Theft Auto 5 is brilliant. It's the same argument.
Yeah, it's kind of like recently in the Jaguar fans group, talking about Doom, and like folks are like, the best Doom port on Jaguar. I'm like, I would definitely say that for the cartridge-based systems. Yes, absolutely. I'll definitely take that over 32X. Even the Game Boy Advance version, I would take Jaguar over that personally. I'm not saying technical. I'm not going to argue that shit. I'm just saying personally, I'd rather play the one on Jaguar than Game Boy Advance. I think, and I like Game Boy Advance, so I don't mean to shit on the thing. It's an impressive handheld, but
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I still enjoy the hell out of it. I like even weird crap like Max Payne, of all fucking things. I was just kind of blown to see it, but going back to the
as long as people are having fun, I don't get really. Somebody enjoys something, just go with it. Everybody gets a kick somehow.
Very true. But going back to like misconceptions, since you've actually
you've picked the right console for that.
Yes. Well, that is one thing I kind of gravitate to, is consoles where, like, even with the Saturn, I've had to deal with a lot of misconceptions about that platform as well. Unfortunately, I don't get a chance to talk to many coders for that platform, so I always say, I'm sorry, but after reading all these interviews with these other guys, this is what they said. This doesn't really line up with your opinion. And of course, folks will have that attitude. Well, it's my opinion. I'm like, yes, it's your opinion, but that doesn't necessarily make you right, especially when it conflicts with people that actually worked on the damn thing. So I'm kind of more inclined to believe the people that actually worked with the damn thing. So
Yeah.
now, having worked on the Jaguar, because you've also coded, have you coded for other platforms as well?
I've done the ST and the Atari 8-bits,
Mm.
and I did a little C, but not too much. But yeah, I've been around a little bit on a couple of other things. But I keep coming back to this.
Yeah. How? Yeah. Okay. So really, how bad is it to code for this damn thing? So,
It isn't. It constantly frustrates me that people say it was horrible to program for and people had trouble doing this and that. No, I think the people who had trouble coding for it just weren't good coders. Anybody who could code a Mega Drive game or an ST game or an Amiga game or a Neo Geo game or anything along those lines, not just because of the 68,000, which is common to all of those, but the RISC chips in the Jaguar, the instruction set on those is very similar to the 68,000. You could probably pick that up in a couple of days. So, yeah, it's not difficult to code for. It is once you read the tech manuals and get your head around it, yeah, it's not that bad. So the who this thing's hard to code for, I just don't believe in.
yeah, I've heard that because like the Saturn IV, it's with its dual processor setup and everything like that. As much as a lot of people like to say it was difficult to program for, even some coders, there was a couple in particular that would say like, look, we didn't use the system libraries anyway, so having better ones wouldn't have really helped. We end up finding our own way, and if you just stuck to assembly, you're fine. But it's because it flew on assembly apparently. Oh, but
Yeah, I working on the Jaguar at the time. When the system was live was the problem. I think getting paid by Atari to work on the Jaguar was the problem.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they were their own enemies when it came to this thing.
it did seem like that from some stories said, but of course, with I find it very difficult to try and trust a lot of information that comes out about the Jaguar because it's kind of like that scene in Zodiac. It's been years. People get old, they forget, and it's not something that comes up too often. And then, of course, a lot of information gets picked up, and then it's like playing a game of telephone, where the further it gets from,
Yeah,
yeah, the further it gets from the source, the more warped it becomes, and it's like, don't forget to pick up eggs.
yeah.
Suddenly became you stinking whore. It's like, wait, what?
Well,
So-
yeah. Well, when we were at, I know when I was at Sinister, I never had any direct contact with Atari directly. Went through Gordon Gibson, who was the owner of the company. But it always seemed like if we wanted tech support or anything, they were really open and happy to help. But when it came down to the monies, that was like, ooh, smoke and mirrors.
There's a magic DAC for you.
Yep. Yep. We'll pay you the second Thursday of next month. And then, that would never come. Get to the second Thursday, and they went, did we say next month? We went the second Thursday of next week.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, going back to again misconceptions, because we had spoken about this part before. Now talking about the platform, how it's really
Yeah.
not that difficult to code for, and you also mentioned using the processors. The thing is, there's a lot of folks that keep saying today, it's like, oh, if only more games used more than just the 68,000.
Yeah.
Is that even that's not even possible, right? Where you could just use that and nothing else.
No, you can't do that. You wouldn't get any input, you wouldn't get anything on the screen, and you certainly wouldn't have any sound.
Oh God. Okay. So you have to use both Tom and Jerry in order to get anything out of it.
You do, yes, you have to. Pretty much Jerry has got the entire audio system on it, so if anything's making noise, it's not using just the 68,000. If you can see a picture on the screen, it's not using just the 68,000.
Oh, well, that's good because I've known like some people like when they look at ports like a flashback. Some people have even said that about your Atari ST ports, where it's like, it's just using the 68,000. It's not really pushing the hardware, which I'm. Uh,
Well, technically, the game is written entirely in 68,000 because it's an ST port. However, the Jaguar is ST. The ST is an 8 megahertz processor, and the Jaguar is a 14 megahertz 68,000 with 227 megahertz RISC chips. Now, you look at the ratio of that speed compared to the original hardware, you find that it's not the 10 to 1 that most people say you need to get emulation running. So anyone who says these are not pushing the hardware need to get a thermometer on that thing when it's running a port.
That's an image. I just see like a Jag. It's like, okay, put this in, and you're just putting like a thumb.
No. When those ST games are running on the Jaguar, the GPU is maxed out completely.
Okay, so I guess what people don't understand really is, okay, like you look at something like Alien versus Predator. It's a very impressive game. I mean, it's not quite like Doom where it has the multi-tiered levels and so on and so forth, rounded corners, yada yada, and it doesn't run quite as fast. But it's still a technically impressive game, and when folks think of something that's pushing the hardware, they'll think of something like Doom or Alien versus Predator. They won't think of like an ST port. So I think there's perhaps a mistranslation or a misunderstanding of what constitutes power.
Oh, I get that. Yeah, people want to see fantastic games on the system, but there's a little bit of tinted glasses going on there when that it can run Tomb Raider or Quake. I think little bit of hype and misdirection in the press at the time didn't help there. But the system's not going to run Quake. It's never going to run Quake. And stop saying you're waiting for Quake.
Yeah, I've heard that Quake rumor a few times, and I'm like, huh? I never heard of it back in the day, so that was kind of like news to me. I wasn't sure if that was like something new that had popped up.
Yeah, I mean, it just weren't interested at the time. Doom and Wolf sold relatively well, but nowhere near enough to spend any time trying to get Quake running on something that it clearly wasn't ever going to run on.
Right, and of course something that looked as though it wasn't going to be able to compete with some of the bigger consoles that had bigger advertising budgets.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you could write Quake on the Jaguar, but it wouldn't. You'd have to compromise it so much it wouldn't be right.
Yeah, it would. Would you like equate it to seeing like Duke Nukem 3D on the Mega Drive?
I haven't actually seen that, but if it's as funny as that comment just made it sound, I would say yes.
Yes, it's only you only have like 6 stages on it, and there's no multi-tiered levels. Did you ever play Toy Story on the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive?
Yes, yeah, I have, yeah.
Okay, you know that level where you're in the toy machine and you have to pick up the little aliens, like plush toys?
Yeah.
It looks like that, but with monsters that explode into bloody chunks.
Right.
Yes, it's...
Yeah, it doesn't sound... Yeah.
It's a very, very stripped down version of Duke. It's impressive that we even hear him say, yeah, piece of cake. Like, that's... Yeah, but the voice...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the voice sample you'll hear more is him going, ah, when you die, because it's easily the hardest version of...
died.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's the hardest version of Duke Nukem 3D I've ever played. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And mind you, I'm a wimp. But even that, I'll play what would be the equivalent of normal on Duke Nukem 3D, but let me try playing Genesis version at piece of cake, the easiest setting. You can't even get past the first door when you first start playing it. It's that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
a stretch.
I think if people want to see the Jaguar pushed to its limits and get a really solid game out of that machine, it's going to have to be a 2D game. It is unsurpassed at 2D. I would say it can even outperform a Neo Geo. So
Really?
yeah, pushing the Jag to its limits and getting a really good game out of it, it's, in my opinion, it's going to have to be a 2D game.
Yeah, 3D
I
would just.
mean,
Oh, please
it
finish.
can do 3D. You can get really smooth, nice 3D out of it, but I mean, the 3D games from that era, in my opinion, have not aged well at all. And even if you got the best that it could do, it would still look bad.
No. Yeah, not as impressed with its 3D capabilities.
No, not well. It, like I said, for the time it was fantastic. But really, do you want to go back and play something that's going to be like an uncontrollable, jerky mess, or in order to get it smooth enough to play, it has to look like it's got mid like 5 polygons? Whereas you could go full 16-bit color, multiple layer parallaxes, gigantic sprites, bullets all over the screen, and the system doesn't even break a sweat. Why would you try to make a game that doesn't use the system's strengths? Why would you go in a direction that it wasn't really designed for? You want to see the best the console can do, play to its strengths.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it don't get me wrong. I have like wild fantasies about the machine, like somebody making like a really stripped down version of Resident Evil. But at the same time, I would love to see something ported from SNK. Like, I would love to see Metal Slug on that fucker. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, and the only thing that's back is the cartridge size. Limited to 6 megabytes.
Right.
And so those Neo Geo games, they're pretty big.
Yes. And horrendously expensive.
But again, if you actually break one of those things down, it's not doing a lot. It's just thousands and thousands of frames of animation.
Right.
So there's no reason the Jag couldn't do that and more if it had access to the RAM.
Yes. Oh, no, pardon me. Vote. I'm getting old, shifting in my seat. Ow. No, I've been like stuck in the same position with my legs crossed and my foot is asleep. Okay, that sucks. And I'll probably cut this out or not, just so people could laugh at my stupidity. And no, I have no ego. Or at least I'm like, hey, if it's good for a laugh, even if it's at my expense, go for it. So,
what do you mean? You're talking about the Jaguar? No ego. Don't you know that's compulsory?
Yeah, it's like once you decide to become a Jaguar fan, that's when you have to say, I'm just that's just like wearing a kick me sign at school. You know?
No, you have to decide which clique you're going to be in. You have to decide whether you think it can do Quake. There's so many factors.
Yeah, just constantly defending. I like it. You dumb bastard.
What do you mean it's just two 32-bit processors glued together?
Man, you probably want a Jag CD too. Oh God. Yeah, no, I have to admit, like, getting your perspective on the Jag CD really, like, blew my mind. It was...
Oh, God, I hate that thing. I hate that thing so much that I couldn't even put it into words how much I hate that.
Well, what killed me, it's like being a Sega kid, I remember my brother was weird. He actually managed to get the Sega CD when it came out. It was the Model 1 motorized disc tray, all that bullshit. And we thought it was cool. And, you know, reading up on it later, it's like it had its own CPU going for it. It was able to do sprite scaling right out of the box, that sort of thing. So it added to the
Yeah, now here's the thing with the Jag.
Yes.
Alright, so before I start saying something about that, your Jaguar console, it has 2 megabytes of RAM, and with a cartridge in, it has access up to 6 megabytes of ROM. So you can keep all your storage in the ROM, have 6 meg to play with, and have 2 meg of RAM, and if the game needs something in the cartridge, it can just access it. Okay, you take that out, and you plug the Jag CD in. And then you put your game CD, and you have 2 meg of RAM. And that's it. Because the CD is just storage, which takes forever to load. You can't keep your music. So you want a module, put the module file in the cartridge, you can play the module from the cartridge and not use any RAM. But if you put your module file on the CD, no, you've got to load RAM first before you can play it.
Oh.
So, yeah, from a developer point of view, the CD is useless. And that's assuming, and it's a big if, that's assuming that it can load the actual data without having an error.
Well, I remember. Oh God. I'm just...
Oh yes, and let's not forget that while you're from the CD, either the GPU or the DSP is tied up handling the CD.
Mm.
And on top of that, the most stupid thing is, if you want to play CD audio, you can't just say, play this track, and it will come out through your speakers. No, you basically have to sample the CD coming in through the I2S ports, and then have a sample playing routine running on the Jaguar to actually play that music.
Oh.
So you can't even play CD audio free. The thing is a worthless piece of junk. I do not recommend anyone buys it. And I think I've had a bit of a rant.
Oh God. Well, I have to admit, I'm glad I talked to you before I bought one. So it's...
Although saying all of that, the VLM is awesome, but only because it's got Minter in
it. He did do some impressive work for that machine. I won't lie.
Oh. Yeah, the Minter's VLM is probably the only reason it's sold. Because it certainly wasn't selling or rushing out to play high.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out there. What was that?
It certainly wasn't for people rushing out to play Highlander.
Oh, what are you talking about? Highlander, the animated series? I know I wanted the Jag CD just for that game. So, well, that's no. I know. I the only reason I wanted a Jag CD personally was to get what I thought would be the best version of Iron Soldier 2. So, and maybe play Primal Rage. That was kind of...
Primal Rage is a great game, but it just takes so long to load the levels.
Really?
And what was the other one that's... the World Tour Racing, that's a really nice game as well. But again, I don't think it's worth the cost of entry with the hardware.
Oh, you don't think it's worth a $500 plus peripheral? So, oh Lord, yeah, it's
the only reason you would buy a $500 Jag CD unit is to sell it as a $600 Jag CD unit.
Oh God! Yeah, well, no, it's like I look at the Jag CD. Like after I got the Jaguar and I got the Skunk board and I got all these games, I'm so happy with what I have, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll get the Jag CD. That I'll save up for it, do this, that. But I keep looking at it and I go, for that kind of money, I could get more games for the cartridge. So, the main unit itself.
No, I mean, for a while, it was the only viable way to get homebrew games out, and I do think at the time it was worth it for that, but with skunk boards available everywhere and the upcoming Saint SD card, it's got no place now other than in a box on the shelf.
And of course you do own at least one, right? I forget.
Yeah.
I bet they get a lot of play in your house.
Well, one of them plugged into a broken Jaguar,
Mm.
and the other one is in a box.
Oh. Yeah, well, that's sad because it sounds like it's not as useful as even a 32X. So it's. But
I don't know. Maybe you could stack like 6 of them on top of each other and then plug a cartridge in the top. So if you've got your Jag on the floor, you can change games without getting up. I don't know. Maybe that's useful.
no. No. No.
Although
I,
it does go further back the more you add. So you'd have to set the Jag like a meter out so that it was hitting the wall by the time it got to chest height. So
yeah, no, fuck the height problem. Let's talk about the AC issue. Just like because each and every one of those damn things would need its own brick sticking out.
that's true.
Oh, yeah, your
All
electric.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
No, you've convinced me. There's no good way to get one. Not in 2019.
yeah, your electric bill. It's like, babe, why did it shoot up 300 pounds? It's like, well, I need 6 Jaguar CDs hooked up at the same time. Duh.
In the 90s, I buy one because there was nothing else to buy coming out. And then up until the skunk mods became available, you'd get them for homebrew games, but now there is literally no reason to own them.
Basically, like, this is a piece of history. Yay.
Yep, pretty much. The only reason I keep is for the occasional bit of test work that we need to get done on it. Like I did the ULS converter to convert homebrew games, so we needed one to test that out, and I'm still hoping one day we get Soulstar out, so I need a Jag CD for that as well.
I feel you. Oh.
Yeah. So other than those two uses,
of course, it's going to kind of suck because if I remember correctly, doesn't the Jag CD have an issue when you try to play a 6 MB cartridge?
No. Yes, it does, and I found that out when I was working with Last Strike last year. So basically, Last Strike is a bit of a big game and barely fits on a 6 meg cartridge. And at one point, there was something like 80 bytes free at the end of the ROM.
Oh.
And we had a test card made, and we plugged it into a machine with a Jag CD, and it wouldn't boot.
Wow.
And yeah, it's not because of a fault of the system, but basically the Jag CD hardware maps the controller registers for the butch chip, which controls the drive, into the last, I think it's 256 bytes of the cartridge address space. So
wow.
Anything that goes that you can't access if there's a CD drive in there because it thinks you're talking to the CD drive instead of trying to read your game data.
Oh God. So if you want to play, like if somebody dares makes a game that's 6 MB, and you have a Jag CD, you basically have to take that fucker off before you can play it.
If it's a full 6 meg, as long as you leave the last couple of bytes of the cartridge empty, it won't matter.
Oh, okay. So it just got to be.
So yeah, there's a workaround, but because nobody used 6 meg cart before, we're like, why isn't this working?
Trying something new and and making new discoveries. It's like, whoops.
Yeah, there's been a few of those over the last couple of years where we've gone, oh look, another hardware.
Oh God. Yeah, look. Man, I would ask, like, have you ever encountered something that was like really fucking bizarre? Like it was just brand new. It's like, oh, okay. Like, can you give us another example?
Yeah, Beebris. This is years ago, and my memory might be a bit hazy, but the intro of Beebris has like an X distorter on the background to like make the text wobble, and that was working fine on my machine, 3 or 4 other machines, but wasn't working on this particular model, and we could not work out what that was. And it turned out that we popped the lids on the Jags to see what was going on the inside of this thing, and it had a different version of the Tom chip.
Oh.
Basically, slightly altered the timing on this code, and it worked on both the systems. But yeah, those two chips, they're not 100% identical.
Damn.
There's a couple of features like that. Well, and we also had it recently last strike where it was randomly crashing on some machines, and that was down to a different revision of the chip again. It was more prominent on the NTC models, but yeah, that took a while to get worked out. But that's all solid now, so that's good.
So that's I'm sorry, you.
There are some bits on. Now, yeah, there are some bits going on in there. Generally, if I stick to my API, the Raptor API, things go smoothly. It's when I go, I need something that isn't in there to off on my own, that I usually find things that don't work right.
Actually, yeah, can you tell us a bit more about the Raptor API? That was something you had put together for the Jag to ease the development process?
Yeah, well, basically, it started out round about when we were doing Superfly. I think Libris and Downfall don't use it, but Superfly was the first thing to really use it. Or it might have been Kobayashi Maru, I'm not sure. But anyway, it started out as a collection of routines that we just kept adding to and using for all the games. And eventually it was like, hey, there's enough here for a library. Let's put it all together. So put it all into a library, optimized it, shoved it off onto the GPU, and it makes game development so much quicker. I mean, you can take a concept and most of the code and the hardware is in the API. It's boom, screen. I want a sprite in the middle. Up it comes. It's mainly scripting to get things on the screen there, so you can rapidly prototype with that, and you don't have to go digging around. So, I mean, we were using it, and I thought, well, other people can use this as well, so we put it out. And then GGN thought, well, we can build a basic under this, and we ended up with Raptor Basic. And now there's like a whole bunch of people on the AtariAge forums writing games on the Jaguar using Raptor Basic. So it's brought the system to a whole new level. Make some games for it, lowered the entry bar, and hopefully we're going to get some more games in the future from that, because it's all about the games. Don't really care. I don't care if it's written in Basic. I don't care if it's written in Assembler. As long as it's fun, that's all that matters. Bring people some fun.
Yeah, I mean, I know some of the games that are being worked on currently by Sporadic look really good. Because he's got
some of the stuff he's done. You look at it, that's written in Basic. Are you kidding me? He's done things with that API that I hadn't even thought of doing. Like that Crumbs 3D Pac-Man is stunning, and his not outrun game, that is so fast and so smooth, you would not believe that was written in Basic. You'd think that was just from scratch, full assembly code from the 90s. You give people the tools to work with, and they will.
Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. I think not Outrun in particular. I mean, that, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's a super scaler. So
yes, you should definitely put a link below to the thing, because it is awesome.
Oh yeah, it's definitely deserving of a link. But yeah, not Outrun, Crumbs, as he said, does look fantastic. It's almost like Pac-Man meets Doom.
Yeah, we.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out there.
I'm playing it from the map. What's this 3D thing? I'm just staring at the map all the time.
Oh God.
So yeah, I'm the horrible person responsible for him covering the map up until you get power build.
I actually like that the map is covered. So
yeah, it's like, well, come on, there's a engine going on up here. Look at this. Come on, look, keep your eye. Look at this bit. Don't need to be looking at the map.
Yeah, it's that, and also I feel like using the map, then it just kind of ends up feeling a lot like regular old Pac-Man, where
Exactly. Now you can get lost in that maze, and there's a sense of where the hell are the ghosts?
yes, it actually adds a creep factor to it that I like. And it's yeah, it's like shit, shit, shit. It's gotta get through.
Coming to the Jaguar in 2015, Stalker Pac-Man.
Pardon me. But no, it's great to see so many more games coming out for the platform, and many of which look worthy of a player's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know, again, even today, there are other games come out that aren't so great for a multitude of reasons, but it's also good to see that there are people like Sporadic, like yourself, that are putting out games that are not just fun, but they're also polished, and there's a sense that there's a lot of care. There's TLC going into the production of it, from not just the coding, but to how it comes out, which is great.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you can throw a Pac-Man game together in a couple of days, but you can spend a couple of months or even a couple of years on it, and you will come out with a shiny diamond instead of a Pac-Man game. Just because a game is based on a simple concept doesn't mean you can't refine the hell out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, like I know some folks, a couple in particular said that Rebooteroids was like, oh, it's just asteroids. I'm like, it's not just asteroids. If it were just asteroids, it wouldn't be as, it wouldn't be as gripping. But it has the power up system, which requires a bit of strategy. Visually, I think it's a radically more dynamic. It's definitely more pleasing to the eye. I love vanilla asteroids. Don't get me wrong, but Rebooteroids is awesome. I love playing that game, and
Thank you.
yes, I'm sorry not to metaphorically suck your cock down to the balls, but yeah, because it was just such a great experience with a homebrew game where I felt like I played a fully realized game that was able to take a very very common and much loved concept, but it was able to give it a lot more refinement and also add some new bells and whistles that gave it a little more strategy and made it a bit more challenging in a different respect, where I felt like it wasn't all about just my reflexes. It was also a bit of like, you got to work on your timing here. You have to think before you leap as you get further and further into the game.
I think the one thing that I changed that really throws the asteroid mentality out with playing that is that you single hit an asteroid and didn't die. The fact that the rocks have hit points and you can build up the damage on your cannon, so you can you can pound away with like a weak cannon on the rock and take like 4 or 5 hits to break it up, or you can power up the cannon and take it out in one.
Yeah.
But if you get that one shot, I'm going to kill the rock cannon, and you start spraying those bullets all around the screen, you end up with a storm of rocks.
Which I've done.
Whereas if you were you just fill the screen with bullets, you would clear the level because they all died.
Oh. But no, it is great to see more games coming out for it, and it's kind of astonishing to think. I feel like it gets better treatment now that the console is basically dead, as far as Atari is concerned. And they have.
I am amazed at the amount of things that are coming out for this machine, and the quality of them. I mean, you look at I don't want to knock the other scenes, but you look at like the Mega Drive scene or the SNES scene, and there just doesn't seem to be many homebrew games, and the ones that come out seem to be. I'm not knocking them because Tanglewood is awesome, but some of them just seem to be simplistic things. But there's a lot of larger games coming out for the Jag with like a lot of care and attention being put into them. And again, I might just be ignorant of the other scenes because I don't spend a lot of time going around looking at them, but you never really hear of a ton of SNES games coming out, a ton of new Mega Drive games coming out. You find the odd, oh look, this game was made in the 90s and we've just found it, but you don't see new homebrews on them. I don't know what your on that is.
Yeah. I mean, really, I've seen a few games come out for the Genesis. It's like we had Coffee Crisis, which was fun, a fun game. But and
Yeah.
there was of course Pure Solar, which was a big...
Yes. Now that game is fantastic, and I believe at one point they were looking at doing a Jag port on that. I don't know what's happened with that, but hey guys, if you're listening, drop me a line.
Well, it's been looking pretty dire now because of Paprium, their big brawler that Watermelon was working on. Because that game, it looks as though it's kind of imploded. We're still kind of hoping to see something, but at the same time, it looks like it may be dead in the water.
So, and again, is that people, setting their sights too high and saying, I'm going to write a
well, yeah, because it did look
not
like...
being able to hit the goals.
Yeah, there was one guy in particular, his name was Stick, but he had done which I'll include a link, because he's done like 3-part video talking about what may have gone wrong with Watermelon. And he has a lot of interviews with the people associated with Watermelon. It looked like after Pure Solar, they kind of got too big too fast. And they took on numerous projects while still trying to do Paprium. And then it looked as though there was kind of like a conflict between the two founders in particular. And things just went to shit. So, yeah, that's
the other thing. I mean, like, Pure Solar, from what I remember, took several years to get finished and released. And to say, right, we're going to do it again and expect it to be done in any less time than it took to do that, it's just an insane thing to say, especially if you're going to say, oh, we're going to do that and 2 other things. Just, set yourself an achievable goal. If you finish that goal and you've still got time, make it better. Just be realistic with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And that goes for any whole... It's, like, there's some really simple games out there that I will sit and play for hours and hours and hours, and it's because the mechanics work. And then there's some fantastically looking, technically impressive things that you just go, yeah, bored with that
now. You're like, yeah, it's pretty, but...
so, yeah. Nail the gameplay. The gameplay right. It doesn't matter what it looks like and what it sounds like. Nobody's coming back.
Yeah, which is why there's still people that play the shit out of Tetris. It's
exactly. It doesn't get much Tetris.
Well, yeah, I mean that's basic as fuck, but it's...
Well, actually, it does. There's Flappy Birds.
Oh, but yeah, I mean it's...
And I'm not knocking Flappy Bird. I mean, we've even got a Jaguar called Flappy Bird with Flappy McFly and Superfly DX, and yeah, people love those games. I love both of them. So simple isn't bad. No. Simple does not equate to a bad game. A bad game equates to a bad game.
Yeah. For me, it takes a lot to call a game really bad. I mean, there are games I don't like, and I'll give you a multitude of reasons for it, but ultimately it's going to come down to me subjectively. Like, I really fucking hate techno.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I don't like, at least I don't like the Genesis version. That's the one I've played, and I remember loving it as a kid, but it just did not age well for me. So I hate
I've got mixed feelings about that game. If it's the same as the version that was on the ST, I don't know if it was, but on the ST version, I loved the driving around in the car part, and I hated the get out of the car and go into the buildings.
I like both parts for the most part, but the concept, like I saw another game that came out later. It was called Outland, and it was kind of meant to be a Mad Max game, but they lost the license. But they switched some things.
Was it Outland or Outlander?
I think it may have been Outlander. I haven't played it in a bit. I think Outlander is correct. But
yeah, I remember that big memory of that one. But
yeah,
it was not bad, but not standout memorable.
For For me on the Genesis, I loved it. I think the driving portion was better. It made a little more sense to me because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it chugs pretty goddamn hard. It's not road rash smooth by any means, but it was a lot more enjoyable to play. And getting out of the car, those sections were much more basic than what you had to do in Technocop. I kind of thought of them as like bonus stages, because really,
again, but oh, sorry, carry on. No, I was going to say, like, concept and take it all the way back to the 8-bits, you end up with auto deal, which was fantastic, and not 3D racing at all, but it was still a lot of fun. And going back to what I said earlier, it nailed the gameplay.
Yeah. But going back to the get out of the car parts in Technocop, the thing that pissed me off about that, I'm sorry, I'm still kind of traumatized by that experience. What got me is that you're given a time limit, but the time moves 2 times faster than what time does.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it like that clock is zipping right through those seconds. Really, they should just be milliseconds. It's going really fucking fast, and you're expected to navigate this maze of hookers and dumbass kids that want to hurt you and giant mutant rats. And
would that be a PAL NTSC thing where it's supposed to be 50 for a second and you're getting 60, so the clock's counting down quicker?
Well, playing the American version, because playing that, it is an American copy, so maybe, I mean, I suppose it may have been possible that they fucked it up bringing it to us. I wouldn't be surprised.
So, I've seen that a couple of times in games. There's a first-person racer game on the Atari called Electric Glide, where I believe you play it on an NTSC system, because the clock goes down quicker, you haven't actually got enough time to finish the track.
Oh shit! Damn. Okay. That'd be interesting if like somebody had done Technocop for the American audience and did not optimize it correctly. That would be funny. It's like, well, maybe we should have fixed that. You think? Yeah, you've got 5/6 of a second to do it in, but
yeah,
good luck finding the big bad, catching him, and then getting the fuck back to your car. Just.
Or maybe they didn't game, so they just made the clock run out before you could get there.
Yeah, they knew if you got any further, you'd realize, holy shit, you've been duped. So.
If you want to see what the game looks like, finish it, check the back of the box.
Let the demo play. You'll get what you need. So.
How do we get to this bit?
I have no idea. I'm partially the problem because I can be a scatterbrained bastard.
That's 2 of us.
Oh, okay. So I'm not completely to blame. That's nice.
No, I'll take my fair share of blame for that.
No, it happens all the time. I've been called a verbal black hole. You'll just go off on one place and then you get sucked into another topic and then you're thrown out across the fucking universe only to be picked up by another black hole, which is another conversation that goes on for way too fucking long. So that's...
Oh, well, if anybody's still here, and this is about the Jaguar, it doesn't sound like it, but
Hey, we spent a good 50 minutes talking about the Jag. I think we did all right. So,
yeah, we did.
Yeah, and hell, we tackled some misconceptions about the hardware. There's no fucking such thing as a game that uses only the 68,000 chip.
No.
So stop fucking saying
you're
it.
Holding it. You're holding the controller. Is that the 68,000 chip?
Jesus.
You're holding your 68,000 chip in your hand, trying to trigger the pins with your like screwdriver or something.
Oh God. And folks, just so you know, you don't always have to use the keypad for the fucking games. So not every game.
Actually, Albert asked me when we were doing Rebooteroids, do we need an overlay for the keypad? And I'm like, it doesn't use any of those buttons. So he was like, can we make you use some of them? No, not really. It doesn't need them.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the keypad, but that's like everybody's big misconception. Whenever I show it to somebody, they look at it and they're like, I need to use all these fucking buttons. I'm like, oh, first of all, calm down. And, yeah, you shouldn't be complaining anyway. If you use a fucking Xbox controller or something, that one has a shit ton of buttons too. They're just spread out.
Especially if you plug the keyboard into an Xbox controller,
Oh.
then you've got like a full keyboard with the buttons.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like, and besides the numeric keys, that's just not every game uses them for action buttons. Only like a handful, really. So just lighten up. You focus on the 3 action buttons. Okay, just focus there.
If you find those aren't you can press the other ones if you want.
Oh, no, somebody asked me, it's like, how do I pause with this motherfucker? And I'm like, the button that says pause. It says pause.
Not working in all games, but most games. Don't go there.
No, I've gone there quite enough. But no, it.
But you didn't pause while you were.
No. Well, no, it was funny because motherfucker got hung up on the fact that it's not called start. Like, you look at any other controller, yes, it says start, and you pause the game by pressing start. So I guess he just expected to see start, but because he didn't, he got pause and he was confused. So he was blind. And I'm like, no, it just says pause.
It is weird when you look at it. Said that there isn't a start button.
Yeah,
but that's just because everything else has a start button, as you said. So.
Well, yeah, that was just Atari having to be different.
Well, I mean, like, I've got a 360 controller in front of me now with a big green X, and we've got back and start. So, yeah, and the Jag controller actually has less buttons on that top bit than this thing. So, you're all wrong.
But no, I love when I got Mickey, a friend of mine, Mickey Mac, to play Doom. He's like, "What the hell do options do?" I'm like, "Options." I don't know what the fuck more you want from me. So
options is pause.
Yeah. I should have fucked with him harder. Instead, it's like, fuck with him more or be a sarcastic prick. I'll be a sarcastic prick. So.
See, I don't see that one like prevents you doing the other. You
could No. You see, I there's a bottleneck for the data feed, so I can only pick one. I can't multitask like that. It's too difficult.
No, there we go.
My programming's behind.
You're a Sega fan. Blast processing.
That's a myth. It was marketing bullshit. God damn you, Scott Bagley. You and your blast processing, you lying piece of shit. So, no, there's still people like that where they think the blast processing's a thing, and I'm like, no, that's not what it really does. No. Okay, that's not what it meant. So
all those Mega Drives, they only used 8,000, and they were all terrible.
Oh god. Oh shit.
Oh no, I've opened
or no, what I love too is Genesis. Like, I never ever have to defend the fucking Genesis. What I have to defend, I was prepared for Jaguar to an extent because I defended the fucking 32X.
There's a couple of good games, like the Star Wars game.
Oh, it does have a couple of good games. It does have some good tech. It kind of suffered from
too little, too late. Not use them overpriced. That's my take.
Yeah, pretty much. It kind of suffered the same issue as Jag, kind of, when it came out. It's like, just throw games in a box.
And then they kind of killed it with the Saturn, I think, didn't they?
Oh,
They got my time periods right there.
well, yeah, it's kind of funny because at least according to one of the guys involved, he had worked on the Sega CD first. He came in to kind of put the Sega CD back on track, and he stuck around, and he also contributed to the 32X. But he was there basically for the conception of the idea. They wanted an upgraded Genesis. Sega of America said, well, why create a new platform? Why not do another peripheral? But this time we can juice it up because they needed something they felt to compete with the Jaguar because it was coming.
Oh, got to compete with the Jaguar.
Well, yeah, at that time it looked really impressive, and it was going to leapfrog. I mean, they were kind of trying to play Sega at their own game, talking about those bits. It's going to be 64.
Well,
what have you got, bitch? So
when when the Jag actually did come out, it was announced in all the press. See the games everywhere, and I think it launched in New York. And
yes,
if you tried to buy one in the UK, you were waiting like 18 months plus to get a system. And by that time, the PlayStation and the Saturn were just around the corner. And why would you buy? Atari completely missed the launch date for that.
Well, I read an interview with somebody who had worked for, I believe it was Atari Europe, and they were trying to get a hold of units, but they kept being sent to America. It's like, no, we got to focus on the American market. So
I remember going into the store trying to buy one. Yeah, we got 6 in, but they all went.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like, great, you got 6 in. There's more than 6 people in this line waiting for one.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I have to admit, your advertising was fucking impressive for the Jag. I mean, I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and it looked like it got some great press. So, admittedly, it's kind of surprising.
It would have been good if you could actually go out and buy one. But...
Well, I think that was a major mistake. You don't if you notice. I mean, did they not notice people were really kind of digging what they were seeing, and the thought just hadn't occurred to them? Maybe we should make sure they get enough units.
You'd think. Ask Nintendo. They're good at that as well.
Oh God, Nintendo. yeah, that's another one I have to defend from time to time. I mean, I'm not a Nintendo guy, but I love the Nintendo 64.
Buying a Wii on week, not because you want one, but because it's the last one on the shelf.
Yeah, I think I felt so old. Like when the Wii came out, because everyone's talking about the Wii and how great it is. I'm like, I don't even give a fuck. And they're like, yeah, but it uses motion controls. I'm like, when was that ever a good thing?
Yeah, it was weird. I just picked one up, and it was a lunchtime. I went out from work, and it was the last one in the shop, so I grabbed it because, hey, everybody else is buying these. Can probably move it again a bit. And yeah, I loved that thing. It was good fun, but I didn't buy it because I wanted it.
Well, everyone else is doing it. I may as well.
Yeah. Well, if you can move it instantly because there's none around and people want to buy it, then you don't mind so much giving it a go.
Very true. Very true. I mean, I should take that mentality with the Neo Geo AES, right? I mean, I know I could move it quickly, if I don't like it.
I've only ever seen one of those in the wild. That in a second-hand shop in France where they wanted more than my monthly rent for it.
Wow.
And other than the minis from about 2 years ago, that's the only time I've ever seen one of those out and about.
Shit. Okay.
And I can't recall ever seeing a cartridge anywhere.
Oh, you would love it here. Oh no, there's a shop I frequent a bunch. It's called East Starland in Virginia, and they have a sizable library of AES games, mostly imports, but a lot of them, they have a few of the smaller titles that go for about $50-$60. They're more common, depending on whether or not you want the box or any of that shit. But they also have a few of the higher end titles, and those go from anywhere from $150 to $600.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
The most expensive, yeah, the most expensive one they have is Neo. At least last I checked, it was Metal Slug 3 at $1,645.
Wow, you could almost buy a
Yeah, like shit.
Maybe you'd get the poly. I don't know.
No, I just look at that and go, "Fuck that! I'll wait for a Virtual Boy to come around." So, oh,
with free Panadols.
God, no, I played a Virtual Boy back on a display kiosk in a fucking Kmart. I will never get a Virtual Boy. I like the idea of it, but it hurt my eyes after like 10 minutes. I couldn't get it. It was stinging.
One of those products where if they let you play it, you won't buy it.
Yeah. Maybe that's why the kiosk started vanishing after a while. It's like they caught wise. Oh, but
we've gone a little bit off topic again.
Yes, we've got we've covered the meat and potatoes. Now we're just going off on a tangent, but actually you do raise a good point. This will be a 1 hour and 20 some odd minute podcast. So
oh god,
oh yeah, but no,
I wouldn't even for that long.
Hey, hey, I've had people tell me, like, I've done the whole 15-20 minute podcast thing. People are like, you should talk longer. I'm like, fucking really? So yeah, there's a reason my videos try to stay within that 5 to 12 minute range. I don't want to bore the fuck out of you. I'm not that exciting. So it's but no, this will be good.
Yeah, no, it's been interesting, but yeah, come listen to this Jaguar talk about Nintendo and Sega.
Hey, I think it's good to get this other side of the scene, because you're not just a coder, you're also a player as well. So it's good to know where you're coming from. I think this adds to the conversation.
Like I said, there's a ton of good games on all the systems, and don't hate on the system in particular. Hate on games you don't like, but if they're good games and other people like them, don't even hate on those.
Hey, no, fuck that. Let's hate on the CDI right the fuck now. So I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, okay. I can hate on
that. I'm kidding. I won't shit on the CDI. I've only ever played it twice, like ever. So
I'm sorry. Why did you go back? No.
No, it was like well, we had this shop called Incredible Universe, and it was great. It was like a big electronics store, and you could just walk in and play anything you wanted. They had a huge room where they had every game console, and I mean every game console up and running on a demo. And they would have games already open, so they would put up the next best game that just came out. Like when the Nintendo 64 came out, yeah, they had Mario 64 playing. Nobody wanted Pilot Wings. Nobody gave a shit. But it's like as soon as Shadows of the Empire came out, they put that on the fucking main unit. And when the Jaguar was out, they had 3 televisions set up with Jags. And they had like one with Doom, one with Alien vs. Predator, and another one with Tempest. So I think they knew which were like some of the best games for the platform and tried to move them as much as possible. And
yeah,
I remember too,
yeah.
they even had a couple, how they had the game set up. It was kind of like how Toys R Us would have the big glass cases and you could go and look at the units. Well, they had the Jag CDs. That was brand new at the time. I still remember seeing them vividly. And it's like, buy, brand new, hot selling, $150, like ready to go.
Ooh, you'd find them at that price now.
I would easily do 150. I mean, even if I didn't use it a lot, I'm like, okay, at least when I get a hold of Primal Rage and Iron Soldier 2, I'll be happy. And I can live with $150. And if it ends up, yeah, 500, not so much. So
yeah, there's not a lot in that thing really, other than the custom chip board controller. It's surprising nobody's done a replacement drive, but again, with the sync card coming out, there's not a lot of point.
And yeah, don't give anybody ideas. It's just.
I can just imagine like a Pioneer CDR stuck on the top of it.
Oh shit, that would be funny. But no,
it can't look worse.
Oh god. But no, it's like but no, when I went back there, it's like we were trying a bunch of game consoles. We were trying the PlayStation, the Saturn, but they also had a CDI set up, and I think it was one of the Zelda games. And I didn't give a fuck about Zelda at that time, so I didn't really care. Little did I realize what an important experience that was, since it was part of the unholy Triforce. But so, yeah, because let's face it, there weren't that many like games that just shot you in the face and go, "Great game, CDI." But
yeah,
but
yeah, good times. And now it's just sequels and sequels.
Sequels and sequels, and you have two major game consoles that just kind of look like
they're both the same. They're just in different colors.
But basically, yes. I mean, it's one of those things I've talked about before on podcasts. Is when I look back on that generation of gaming, you look back, everything really had an identity. Like the Jaguar had an identity, the 3DO had an identity, the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, the Saturn. They all had their own flavor, and it was that.
And you could tell which console you were looking at by looking at the screen.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, if you've got that weird ratio, you know it's SNES.
Yes. and a lot of colors. You're like, oh, yeah, that's definitely Super Nintendo. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, like if all the sprites have got a black outline around them, you're pretty sure you've got a Super FX. They're not a Super FX. I can't remember what it's called. That Japanese. It'll come to me. TurboGrafx.
Oh. The PC Engine. That's
the one. Yeah. I just remember almost everything I saw on that the sprites had a black outline around.
Huh. I hadn't even thought about that. No, but yeah. No.
Or maybe everybody was just playing Bonk. I don't know.
Bonk. Yeah. That's a game where people have told me, like, if you ever get a TurboGrafx, that's one you want. And I'm like, why? I just look at it. It doesn't look appealing to me. But I'm weird. Like, I was a guy who kind of shat on BC Racers because it was themed around cavemen. I'm like, what do I give a fuck about cavemen? It's not exciting to me. Unless it's called the Flintstones, I kind of don't care. So
fake comment.
No, here's a Jag story for you. A friend of mine who gave me the Jag, really a friend of my girlfriend's, but one of the games he gave me with the unit was Dino Dudes. And he was like, oh, you're going to love that game. And I played it. I'm like, I hate this fucking game. I don't mind the concept. I think the concept's neat. But this is just a very dull looking game to me. It doesn't really know. And I ended up taking that fucker out after 15 minutes, and I threw in Flip Out instead. And I played that for like an hour and a half. I'm like, ooh, I love Flip Out though. I love Flip Out. And
yeah, that was Dino Dudes is kind of a slow. It's not even a platformer, is it? It's more strategy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely strategy. Oh, but it's kind of bizarre. It's just with it's Dino Dudes. I'm like, all right, whatever the fuck that is.
It's just Dino Dudes.
Yeah, but you look at Flip Out, and it's these fuckers that live on a planet made of cheese. And, it's just like, hey, I can get behind cheese. Like, absolutely.
And yet Dino Dudes was a launch title.
But yeah, I was sad to admit to him later, like, dude, I'm very sorry, but I got rid of Dino Dudes. I traded it for another game. And he's like, what? How could you? And I'm like, look, I got a skunk board. If you ever come over to hang out, I can just put Dino Dudes on that motherfucker and we'll play it. But you lost my scores. As if you cared. You gave it to me. So it's...
1.
Yes.
You scored 1.
Oh man, but yeah, but that was cute though. I'm like, oh, you still cared, but you didn't bother to play it before you gave it to me. Ha! Fuck you. Yeah, no, it's still. Yeah, at least he knows it went to a good home. I've taken very good care of that damn thing. So yeah, I love it. My girlfriend hates me now. She's like, oh, shit, is that all you play now? I'm like, yes. So, only recently have I started playing other games on other platforms, and I've kind of like, okay, I need to give the Jag a break right now. So I'll try some other things. I'm starting to feel like a bad parent. Look at all my consoles sitting there collecting dust. It's like, I remember when you used to play me. I'm like, I know. So, but anyway, I think we're going to use this as a point. If you wouldn't be opposed to coming on, maybe doing another podcast later on down the line, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, I'll just be sure to get my day straight when thinking about Australia. Okay. Now,
yeah, we are. What afternoon? Well, when's that? It's 6 a.m. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. I'm like, okay, you guys aren't 5 hours ahead. You're 15 hours ahead. You're in the fucking future.
We're not 15 hours ahead. 15 hours behind.
Don't get into a glass half full, half empty debate with me right now. God damn it.
You're living in the past. Let it go.
I've been hearing that my entire life. So, just... but how appropriate. But yes, Lawrence, I would just like to say thank you for coming on Mastercast Radio. And,
thank you for inviting me.
Well, my absolute pleasure. It's been great having some of these kind of misconceptions addressed, and
it's been great not to talk about the Jaguar from all the game's point of view and just ramble for a bit. That's big difference to like the usual stuff I get asked. So thank you.
My pleasure. Like I said, sometimes it's much nicer to just have a conversation and rap a bit rather than I'm not fucking. No, who's that guy from Inside the Actors Studio? James Lipton? Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, okay, let's say yes. Let's pretend I know.
Oh, yeah, he's a guy there and he'd be like, okay, so what's your favorite curse word? You know, that's his. Yeah, you started in Juilliard, and it's. I can't do that. I'm not that classy, nor am I that pretentious, so I can't fucking do it. So it's, but yes, thank you again. And folks, for those of you listening, this has been Lawrence Staveley of Reboot. You can find his newer games on AtariAge, Rebooteroids, again at the time of this recording, which is 3/16/2019. I believe it's still currently out of stock, but it is going to be back in stock very soon. So if you're at all interested, go ahead and check out AtariAge and put yourself down on the waiting list. They'll notify you as soon as it's available. Also, he's got his next game, Last Strike, coming very, very soon. Do we have a release date on that yet?
No, we don't. But hopefully sometime in the middle of the year.
Right on. Cool. So we've got that to look forward to, as well as Rebooted. Now, Rebooted is still very much in the testing phase. So,
it's pretty much finished. We're getting some test cards done, and hopefully that will follow after Last Strike.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Because you're actually very considerate of your fan base, and like, we don't want to throw too much shit at you. Let's space it out a bit and have a nice steady stream of content. Make sure everything's great before we put it out, and let you save some money up for the next one. So, no, because damn, it's like shit. There's Treasure Island Dizzy. There's Defender of the Crown. There's like 2 new games. Shit, calm down. Don't throw more new stuff at me. Can I?
I know it does feel a bit, but yeah, it's only a 30. Folks, I mean, like you've got to keep these releases coming, you know.
Yes. But yeah. So if you ever want to chat with him, and talk to him about coding. I'm sure Lawrence would be cool about that. Just head on over to the AtariAge forums and you'll be able to find. How did you pronounce it again? Serrano?
Yep, Serrano.
Serrano, there we go. Because
you can say it.
I'm a foolish American and I say Cyrano. So it's just, but yes, and there's plenty of information there if you're at all interested in homebrew, especially for the Jag. You can find pretty much everything that you need, links, everything in the forums. Everything's clearly labeled. You can find it very, very easily. So there you have it. But thank you very much to Reboot and Lawrence again for coming on. And may you have.
I waved then. You can't see it, but I waved.
I'm not the only one that does that. Yay. Okay. So I always feel like an idiot. I'm just like, all right, bye. You can't. Bye. I did that to your wife earlier when she said hello. I'm like, bye, and I'm waving. I'm like, I am such a fucking idiot. This is not video. What are you doing? So, all right. Well, this is Andrew Rosa of Mastercast Radio signing off.